Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, wherever your time zone is. My name is Syntes. I'm with Syntes AI company. So, in this session, which is fairly short, 15 minutes, I'll show you our Syntes AI platform, Agentic platform, which uses Neo4j as a core database or data repository. And the platform provides agentic solutions for the customers through various interfaces. I'm going to show you like 3, 4 slides just to set the context, explaining what the value proposition our platform provides to customers and what is a high-level architecture, so you would understand whatever I'm going to show you during the live demo. So this slide represents value proposition that our platform provides to the customers. Basically, can go down to the 4 main parts. We empower users with the AI agentic solutions in a way that they don't really need to deal with their data with the data analysts, data architects. The system does it for them. What's very important is the governance and explainability of the results that AI agentic solutions provide. So we pay attention for that. We provide very high level traceability for all answers that agentic solutions do towards the data. Live operational memory represents our functionality that allow us to integrate with the customer data repository, in some cases one way, in some cases in a bi-directional manner, that our system not just presents the data, but also can modify it and send it back to the original systems. And data modification can be done in traditional way, which I'll show you in a minute, or it can be done through the agentic workflows when people interact with the system through the chat-like interface. Last but not least is the trust and precision. We deal with the customer data, so we're not really dealing with something that LLM model was trained on some time ago, which was publicly available on the internet. We provide the actual customer data as a context for all AI chats and all AI solutions. We try to minimize hallucinations that very typical for the LLMs, almost to zero. If system cannot answer based on the data, it'll tell you that. So the trust and governance, I want to explain slightly more, which is really important kind of piece of the functionality. So we are multi-tenant SaaS solution. The isolation of the customer data is done at the database level. So each tenant has its own Neo4j database partition. It's not a striped data in the common table, something like that, which is not really a good from security standpoint. We are really paranoid about security. And then further, we have multiple layers of the data access permissions, whether they are vertical in form of applications within the tenant or data models within the applications, or even horizontal access to particular records within the same data model type. If possible, we can inherit permissions from the customer systems, but that's not always available. So as soon as it's available, we use that as well. Approvals and governance, when AI solution used not just answer questions, but also control data, change the data, we provide real-time decision-making approvals that actual people will give to the AI, and then AI will modify the data. And again, last but not least, we have a field level logs, which provides really high level of accountability, auditability to all data changes. So from technology standpoint, our solution based on 5 pillars. First one is the way how we ingest the data from customer systems. If possible, we're trying to do it in a two-way connectors manner. We advocates for the ELT, just a load and then transfer, not the vice versa. So we're trying to ingest data into our system as close as possible to the actual system we deal with. And if API of those systems provide ability to send data back, we do it. And again, ELT really simplify this task. We don't really have to do much of the transformations of the data going back and forth. So live operational memory represents us storing the data updating through those connectors dynamically. We're trying to provide as much as possible real-time data as a context for all AI chat operations or agentic operations. We're trying to be not the black box, which most of the systems that use AI chats, AI agentic solutions are. So we're trying to explain users all reasoning, all decisions that AI agents do when they present the data, when they change the data. And since we keep the data twin type of data set from the customer systems, that's possible for us. We're trying to provide controls for users to basically click on them and see what's the original data related to specific AI chat answer is. And I'll show it to you in a minute. So from integration point, we have our own agentic solutions, but we can also act as the context for external agentic solutions if customer prefer that. So we can act as an MCP server, providing data context in form of knowledge bases to the external agentic solutions. But again, in this case, customer will lose ability to go back to the original data records because their agentic systems might not support that. And last but not least, we again provide a series of agents, which in some cases just informational agents that just answer questions. In some cases, they are actionable agents that modify the data and then ask some approvals for that. All right, that's a last slide, and then I'll start the demonstration. So this slide explains the high-level architecture of our solution. As I mentioned, the one-way, two-way connectors link our system to the external data sources. We provide a bunch of connectors out of the box for well-known systems like Snowflake, for example. Most of the customers using that as the data lake. So they dump data from their proprietary systems or publicly available systems, and then that data becomes available. So that's kind of low-hanging fruit for us. We just integrate with Snowflake, and that's the way how we can integrate with customers' data. But we also provide a bunch of connectors for, again, well-known standard solutions in different industries. And in my today's demonstration, I'm going to show you the e-commerce, online e-commerce example where we integrate with the Shopify, which is a well-known online trading platform or selling platform. So we ingest the data, it's stored as the master data, and that data become available for access to that data through UI or in form of knowledge base to the agentic solutions. So with that, I'm gonna switch to the live demo. And before I do that, since we have really small time frame, please send your questions if you have any to the chat. I'll get the list of those questions and answer them later. Or you can just send those questions to our email, notes2025@syntes.ai, syntes.ai. All right, so with that, let me switch to the system. So as I mentioned, it's a SaaS solution. It's a multi-tenant solution for the users who do have access to one or more tenants. They can switch to those tenants in the menu. And then within each tenant, you have multiple applications, which you can roughly call data connectors. It's not just a data connector. It includes agents and stuff. But for sake of kind of simplicity, we can just look into those applications as data connectors. We try to use chat interface for various cases because people these days really used to the ChatGPT or other Copilot or chat-based solutions. So it from one way, people accustomed to that type of interaction with the system. From another way, it gives us ability to create really flexible UI with the stuff. So this is my data, and I'm going to create a new chat session. It's 2025. And before I do that, I'll show you just a glimpse of the data. So this is the data ingested from the Shopify store management system. There are a bunch of different records for the products, product variants, orders, and stuff. we can start asking questions in this chat. So let me cut and paste so we don't really waste time for that. So show me products grouped by product type. So there is a product type for each product. So system will do following. It basically uses LLM to generate a Cypher query. Then it uses Cypher query to call the Neo4j, gets the data being validated for the relevance towards the user's question, again, with the use of LLM. Then data is normalized, fields are checked against the types, and then the data basically presented in this way. So it gave me a bunch of different products grouped by these product types, and that exactly represents what we see on this screen. I can ask some aggregated questions, which is slightly more interesting. So I want to ask how many product variants are priced less than $300. So if I switch to my product variants data set, I see there are a bunch of product variants, and if we sort them by price field, we can see. So it says 8 product variants priced less than $300. So if we count, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. That was precisely a very precise answer. It also can do aggregated functions. So we can, the Cypher queries can actually ask database, provide not just the data, but also aggregated data. For example, what's the all orders total sum? So that should be a dollar value. And if we switch to the orders, and while it's calculating, we can look. So it gave me an answer, $6,580. So we have convenient function that actually can calculate totals and averages right from this column. So show me, yeah, that's exactly $6,580.01. And if we want to ask, for example, average price per order, it can also calculate that. And again, while it's doing that, we can quickly see. So that's the number. Yep, that's exactly what it does. We can, and that's the informational agent, very, very basic agent that can answer questions. We can also add additional agent that can actually do slightly more fun. We can, for example, ask information that can be presented in form of report. And we do have an analytical section, and reports are there. So a bunch of reports, but reports are parameterized. And when we ask question, system not just show us the data, but also can link it to the report, which may have a nice graphics. So that's the report. So if we click on this one, it'll show us report with some graphics or some a dashboard, which we can use. There are some more fun reports like this. So this one will show you a little chart, a little pie chart. All right, so this one. So that's the reports. And the data that we see grouped in the data sets, which can actually be presented as the normal graph. So we can provide actually data. So this top one is what we were looking for. So this has a bunch of data elements, which we show along with the links and stuff. And users can actually create multiple data sets from the same data repository, and you can slice and dice data any way you want. Then you create a knowledge base from just that data set, which can be sliced horizontally or vertically. And then you provide that data set in form of knowledge base to the agents. So we almost out of time. So that's pretty much at a glance what our system does. Again, Neo4j and Graph database allow us to be as close as possible to the actual data that customers have. All right, that's pretty much it I wanted to show you today. Thank you very much.